Hi, this is Shelly Craft. We are coming to you live on SNNLive. We were at the 2012 ISEEE conference. That's the International Stock Exchange Executives Emeriti, and we are in beautiful Madeira, Portugal. I am here with Gilberto Biojone, the former CEO of Bovespa. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilberto, how are you today? Welcome to SNNLive.
Hi, Shelly. Thank you for having me in. And we are here in the 8th gathering of this group of former executives of exchanges, and we are trying to give some thoughts about the problems the market is facing right now.
Now, you bring a perspective of South America. You from Bovespa, Brazil. So your speech today was very interesting, so I'd like you to tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I was telling you how we developed the market in Brazil, and that one of the foundations of the market development there was the fiscal incentive that the government, the Brazilian government, gave back in the 70s, and with a discount on the income tax of the investors of a part of the investments in new shares that they did. And many companies also joined the program of the Brazilian Development Bank by then, and that financed their capital raising process by giving finance to individual investors to pay the investment in, say, 5 years with 6 months grace period. And so these investments also were deductible from the IRS. And so it was very, very interesting, and it helped a lot many companies to grow and to get big. So today we have some multinational companies that started as sponsored by this kind of programs.
So today in Brazil, you're facing some of the same issues as the rest of the world is for the SMEs. So what is your recommendation as to what the markets should do, for instance, to increase liquidity, to increase the ability to raise money, to increase the way that people can buy the shares, etc.?
Yeah, I think that one of the ways is to use the past. What was a success in the past, you can use today. And this program of the BNDES was very important to the companies, to the smaller companies, to raise capital and turn to be big companies as they are today. And so this worked. We should try to get it back in order to see if it works again.
I'm sensing a man who wants to do something now to make it work again.
Yeah, thank you. But we are always, I've lived in Brazil since I started working when the government started the program to get a new market for Brazilian equity. And so I lived this process all my life, and so I'm always enthusiastic of this kind of mechanism, because it worked, and it worked very well, and it brought money to the country. It got profitability for the companies and also for investors. And so this is an interesting project.
So if you had a SME of your own today, what would you do to raise money for your company in Brazil?
Yeah, in Brazil, I do what I'm doing for a client of mine. That is, we are going to the BNDES, that is the only source of long-term capital for the Brazilian companies, and in order to get financing for about 5 to 10 years. And also we are talking to some institutions locally and internationally in order to get loans of a longer term, because we need long-term financing. It's not it's not easily available in Brazil right now.
So you're choosing debt instead of equity, it sounds.
Yes, at this moment, yes, because we did some investments in this company, and we have to wait a little bit in order to these investments produce results so that we can sell shares at a bigger price in the future.
So eventually, a company that you represent as a client would be a company that would eventually go public in Brazil.
Yeah, for sure. There will be in a time frame. It's about 1 year, 2 years from now.
But until then, you need to raise equity in the debt markets.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, an opinion of a man who began an exchange in Brazil. He was the founder, actually, weren't you?
No, I'm not the founder, but I began. Well, maybe a brief founder because when I worked to the exchange for the second time, it came from a very difficult period. The exchange was almost bankrupt. Volumes were very low, and then we had to work a lot in order to get the company on shape again, and we did it successfully.
So I'd say the man who saved the exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Gilberto Biojone, the former CEO of Bovespa in Brazil. We are at the 2012 ISEEE, the International Stock Exchange Executives Emeriti, here in beautiful Madeira, Portugal. I want to thank you again for coming on to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelly, again for having me.
My pleasure.